This is the third time lucky. Where do we stand? What should we expect? A big, strong turnout to try and give us something decisive?
Third time lucky for who, man?
Well,
I mean, that's the thing.
yes.
Who's going to get lucky? It doesn't look like we're going to see any significant change between the two big blocs, the right-wing bloc led by Benjamin Netanyahu and the center-left bloc led by Benny Gantz. The polls seem to be indicating that we're going to be right back to where we are right now, which is a deadlock between those two major blocs. Maybe there'll be some votes moving around inside those blocs. And it's really unclear where that will leave us and what next. I mean, you know, a fourth election?
What has the narrative changed? I mean, we know what the issues are. We know what Bibi's issues are legally, etc. But has the narrative changed? Have they shifted their narrative since the last election?
I mean, not really. Benjamin Netanyahu has been very active, almost hyperactive, and you know he's gone out and got President Trump to come in with a peace plan, which he sort of hailed as a big victory. But it kind of backfired a little bit on him because at the same time, when the right wingers in his bloc, in the right wing bloc, the more extreme parts of that bloc, expected that they could annex parts of the West Bank immediately, the Americans came in and said, no, you can't. So there was disappointment on that front, even though what was seen as kind of a gift to Benjamin Netanyahu in his election, it didn't really lead to that big jump. Having said that, he did manage to pull Likud back to almost maybe even Stevens, according to the polls, I have to say. We'll see.
You've got a great caveat there, haven't you, according to the polls? And you're right, third time lucky for who? I suppose maybe the people of Israel who would like some clarity around their future. What is the most pressing issue then in this attempt at the ballot box?
It remains Benjamin Netanyahu. It remains, you know, the future of Benjamin Netanyahu. So I believe 2 weeks from now, I think the trial begins. Then it becomes much harder for him in terms of the campaign. He was hoping to break the deadlock with this election ahead of that so that he then has kind of a free hand, another few years basically where he's prime minister even as the trial continues. Because remember, in Israel, he doesn't have to step down even if there's a trial. So that remains kind of the big issue. Now, at the same time, Israel hasn't had a proper, I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu is still the prime minister, but they haven't really had a government that's able to take action, that's able to get votes through parliament. So I think that will start having an impact on the Israeli economy, for example.